Good morning, everybody. Starting this video myself here. This is the part 2 of my cell videos. We want to figure out how do we make cells. Um, Everybody knows about the old silicone. Silicone is one of the first things that was introduced to me to create cells in the paintings. And since then, I've done a lot of research on what creates cells and what doesn't. And I've done a video on these two here, this coconut milk hair serum versus the cell magic, and I've noticed that in that the coconut milk does create a little bit more cells initially, but they're not as pronounced, I should say, as these are more round, and these are like, they might be bigger, but they're more oblong, and they don't hold their shape as well. Some of the other things that I've come across, Cell Medium by Master's Touch. This actually works pretty good for creating cells. If you add gloss varnish in your paint, that will also create cells. So that's something to take in consideration. I have not done it yet, but I have heard of Dawn dish soap. That every video that I've watched where they've used Dawn dish soap, they have used Floetrol, and Floetrol in itself will create cells. So I don't know that I am completely 100% sold on the dish soap method. I haven't tried it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I just feel like using the dish soap is just going to be a waste of my time and a waste of my paint, and I don't like wasting paint very much. So if somebody has any art that's out there where they've used strictly paint, water, and Dawn dish soap, I'd be more than happy to check that out. Just leave a comment below and maybe a picture in the comment section. Okay, Rain-X. They come in the spray bottle or the squirt bottle. Rain-X added to paint. What is Rain-X? Rain-X is a water repellent. So it has to be, if you're going to use it in your paint, it has to be mixed thoroughly to create a lot of cells. If you want just a few big cells, then you just put a couple of drips in there and don't mix it much. Same thing like with silicone. But if you use this on some of your lower layers of your paint, like if you're doing a flip cup or a swipe or anything like that, if you get this anywhere close to your canvas, you may get divots where it pushes the paint away. So you'll have a nice flat surface, and then all of a sudden you'll have a divot, and then you can see the canvas through that. So be mindful and be careful when you're using this Rain-X. Okay, now here are some things that I have heard also that will create cells. These are products that I have not tried. There again, I may try them. I don't know. WD-40. I've heard people say they get a lot of cells out of WD-40. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't tried it. So that's something maybe to do in the future. Maybe you could try it. Maybe see what you can do with it. Liquid Wrench White Lithium Grease is another one. Honestly, I don't see how this one would work because it is more of a grease, and I'm not sure that I want grease in my paintings, but I've heard that it works. Now these are just, these last items here are items that I have heard just from a few sources. The items that I chose to talk about first were from a lot of sources. So the first ones that I did, all the way from your silicone to your Rain-X, those are all approved methods. One more approved method is alcohol, rubbing alcohol. I do not have any on hand, otherwise I would have shown you. But isopropyl alcohol is another way that you can use to create cells in your paints. Okay, going back. Honing oil for sharpening knives. There again, I've heard only like maybe one person tell me about this. I haven't tried it, but it's out there. Fender guitar polish. I picked this up just because I wanted to have it, but I thought I had, like I said, thought I had the alcohol, but I don't. But I picked this up just so that I could show you guys. guitar polish. It contains petroleum distillates. Maybe that's what creates the cells, because petroleum is lighter than water. That's all I could assume. Tire Wet from Black Magic. This is kind of a greasy feel to it when you put it on or when you mix it in. Any of these products that you use, make sure that you only use a little bit in your paint, because if you overwhelm it, you might change the overall consistency and the way it will adhere, the way it will bind itself together on your canvas or to itself. So be mindful that whenever you put any of these additives in your paint when you're mixing, to do it very sparingly. A couple drips of silicone in your cup to you know, create your cells or whatever. And if you don't want to use any additives, I have a video that I did before this one. This is the part that was part 1. This is part 2, and that one is creating cells without additives. That would be without any of this stuff here. You're still going to have your paint, your pouring medium, and or water. So, well, there you go. Those are a few things. These last ones are not my recommendation. The things that I know for a fact work great. I'm going to put these up here right now so that we can work on these together. Silicone is obviously the go-to for creating cells for beginners. Silicone oil is can be bought as treadmill oil, where you can go to your local store where they sell sporting goods, and so I always sell treadmills, things like that. You'll see bottles of silicone oil. This is what lubricates treadmills. Okay. This is coconut milk hair serum. This is not actually coconut milk, so do not put coconut milk or any other food-based product in your paints. It can go rancid, and it will make your painting stink. And if you're making it for a customer, the last thing they want is for their painting to smell at their house of rotten, basically rotten garbage. So this is coconut milk hair serum. It's an anti-breakage serum for your hair. You're going to find this in your stores that sell hair products. Okay. Cell Medium is what Master's Touch has made. This is what I bought at Hobby Lobby. I bought this one, this Color Pour, at Hobby Lobby, and they stopped selling it, and they changed to this. So this will create cells as well. I'm always partial to my silicone, just because that's my grassroots. This is where I started. Gloss varnish. When you add any kind of gloss to your paints, it's going to give it a little more buoyancy, I guess. I'm not sure. It does create cells though in your paints. Rain-X. I have used Rain-X in my paintings, and some of you have seen my rainbow pour. Let me grab it real quick. My rainbow diptych. Okay. Backwards. These two here are done with Rain-X in my copper, and my copper is my swipe. So these work. If you're going to use the spray bottle, if this is what you find, give one small squirt in your color that you're going to use for your swipe, or whatever colors that you want to create cell action. If you find the bottle, and this is what you're going to use, a couple drips, just like you would do with silicone, in the colors that you want to have cells. Okay? So there we have it. This is creating cells with additives, and it's just as simple as that. If you want to create some cells with varying degrees of amounts or size and things like that, experiment. Try different things. Try the alcohol. Try the hair serum. Try the Rain-X. Experiment. That's what this is all about. Creating the best possible way for you to get what you're looking for, what's in your head, onto your canvas. And that's what it's all about. All right. Thanks for watching. Again, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. And remember, boron. Thank you very much.